When you describe the exploitation of civil assets forfeiture tools act, where is your source for me to believe that it was passed in the House and also for the act to still not get an approval by the Senate?
There's actually a website called GovTrack that tells you the name of the bill, like who voted for it, who wrote it, and it has where it was when it was introduced and when it was passed in the House. And so if you go on GovTrack and you look at the House resolution, then it's a solid source on where you can find it was passed.
Okay. But why wasn't it cited?
Because you don't. I don't know. I didn't have the tools to cite it because I don't have the knowledge of YouTube that I should have learned.
Okay. Next question. When you say citizens have subconscious apprehension of law enforcement officers, how do you know for a fact that citizens feel fear rather than feeling safe around them?
It's not, of course, all citizens, or a lot of citizens are different. It's just there's been a lot of protests through stuff like Black Lives Matter, or they're all kind of people that are fearful a bit of the law enforcement because they think the law enforcement is like racially charged, or they think the law enforcement acts in like a racial discrimination, and so a lot of people do that for one, fear law enforcement. Other people fear law enforcement just because they think law enforcement people are kind of mean, but not to say that either of those are right at all, but just to say that they are some of the reasons that people might have an apprehension of law enforcement.
Okay. Where is your cited source for your harms and your first affirmative regarding civilian possessions that are being confiscated by officers?
I believe that was the Mandrell Stewart story. I think that was the Washington Post. There was an article in 2014 that there's a website that I probably should have put on my YouTube, because
the Washington Post was your harms under the second affirmative action. This is the first affirmative action.
No, I think that was the Washington Post was the one for the Mandrell Stewart story. I actually got it. I did get it off Wikipedia at first, and I went to the Washington Post page, and I learned that was a lot more in detail, and I used that instead of the Wikipedia page.